Welcome back, baseball fans, as we continue our Out of the Park Baseball 26 historical playthrough of Legends in the Making, where we are rewriting history by doing a inaugural draft in 1921, where we also included Negro League players from the very beginning in this league. So we get to see how these greats would stack up against each other in this simulation. We're playing the role of Abner Doubleday, leading the St. Louis Cardinals in it, to see how well we can do as we can. First season in 1921 was rough, but we have done well since then, picking up our second World Series last season in 1926. Led by Oscar Charleston, Hack Wilson, Lou Gehrig starting to emerge in his first real full season. Jim Bottomley was also great. Smokey Joe Williams. Lefty Grove is starting to emerge as well. And Grover Cleveland Alexander, amazing for his age. Luis Tiant Sr. was another one who played great for us. And Bullet Joe Bush is still around. So this time, before we jump into the season and the offseason, what's been going on, we're going to take a look at Lefty Grove. Lefty Grove was one of the great pitchers of all time. You can see here he won 300 wins exactly, pitching for Philadelphia, the Athletics, and Boston. He was an amazing pitcher, barely got into the Hall of Fame. He is one of, at the time when he won 300 games, he was one of four pitchers, modern pitchers, to do so. But the other three were all dead ball era pitchers. So it's even more remarkable that he was able to do that. He's also got, apparently his win percentage here is the highest win percentage among 300 win pitchers, and even among like modern pitchers with 250 wins, which is amazing as well. He is a stud of a player. He played in a time, one reason his ERA is 3.06 is he's playing at a time where more runs were scored. You can still see how dominant he was. He actually won the ERA title 9 times, which is 3 more than the next closest, which is Roger Clemens. He was also the only person for 90 years until Chris Sale did it in 2019 to throw 2 immaculate innings in the same season, which again is just wow. And so he was an amazing player. He made it to the Hall of Fame in 1947, along with a few other names like Carl Hubble. And so he's just kind of overlooked, though, because of that ERA sometimes. Even though he was the most dominant pitcher of his day, his ERA plus, he had 10 seasons or more with a 150 plus ERA plus, which I don't know if this is completely accurate because I don't see them as having 10 unless the data I'm looking at is a little off. But that is more than Tom Seaver and Sandy Koufax combined to give you a sense of the greatness of Lefty Grove. And so we are hoping he will take off. Now, 1926, he did not have as good of a year as he did in real life. So I think that's interesting because Babe Ruth is another one we've seen who has not lived up to what we would expect, hitting 19 and 16 home runs the last couple of years. But in real life, he had 47 and 25 in those years. So he has not been living up to what we would expect. It will be interesting with 1927. Will he hit 60 this season like he did in real life? I don't know. Now, is that because he's playing in a different ballpark? Yankee Stadium was awfully friendly, but now he is playing for the Washington Senators. The other question is, does it have to do with the pitching he's facing? He doesn't have the New York Yankee pitchers on his team necessarily, so maybe he's going against them and they're shutting them down. And we have the Negro League players who also throw another wrinkle into things. So we're seeing him have to go up against some of these other greats that maybe he didn't face necessarily because they were in the other league, like Dazzy Vance, for example, playing in Brooklyn. So if Babe Ruth's not playing against Dazzy Vance in real life, well, he is in this one. So he's maybe not doing as well. And we'll get to see Hack Wilson, on the other hand, and for his 1926 year, 132 RBIs, 21 home runs. 1926 in real life, 21 home runs. He was dead on. So he still had a great season. So it's interesting to see how this might shake up. Now, we did do our draft, and we did not get Satchel Paige, sadly. If only we could have. That would have been fantastic. We did here. Well, here's our draft. Here we go. We took Clarence Palm, the catcher, to start. and hopefully he'll emerge. We could maybe use a catcher. I'm intrigued by him because I do not know for sure, but I think he is a Negro League player. The fact that they don't have anything here makes me hope that's the case, and so that these stats will actually really emerge and he'll be a phenomenal player for us is what I'm hoping. We then took Ted Trent, who is another Negro League player. We're going to see how he does. Johnny Burnett, Earl Weathersby, and then from here on, I don't know if any of these guys will make it into the roster or not, but we had the 18th pick, so it was kind of slim pickings at times for us. As far as then Hall of Fame voting results, the only one to get in, Clark Griffith, just missing. Lots of people getting taken off this season, but Sam Crawford got in, so we can take a look at his stats. Now, he did not play. He had 1921. He did get 24 plate appearances in our season, but all of his stats were not to any players that have been playing in our simulation here to see how they did. Again, once we get to 1930, we will take a look at the records to see where everybody is at and how it compares maybe to real life and what we've going. So we're going to jump ahead then to opening day. And here we are, opening day 1927, starting off against the Chicago Cubs. Our lineup is as so. Fats Jenkins is going to be in left field. We're hoping he emerges to be back to that 372 hitter that he was in 1923 before not finding himself in the lineup in 25 and 26. So hopefully he goes back. He's looking like he might be that player. Oscar Charleston still looking great. Lou Gehrig ready to just rock it off. I hope Hack Wilson repeat his season from last year. We're hoping Clarence Palm, the rookie, getting right in there at 19 years old. Jim Bottomley, we're playing at third again, sacrificing defense. It worked last season. Dave Malicher will be our defense at second base. Wally Gerber at shortstop again, defense. So we have our defense guys there. Our rotation will be Smokey Joe Williams at 41, leading the way, with Lefty Grove right behind at 27 years old, ready to emerge, we're hoping, because his control is getting there. Jakey May at 31, which he was a Cardinal in real life and then went to the Reds. So hopefully he'll have another solid season. Luis Tiant, he's a wild card. We don't know what it's going to be like, but we're hoping he'll be great. I have heard that he throws an amazing screwball, rated one of the top 10 in history. And then Grover Cleveland Alexander, 40 years old, is going to be our fifth starter. We're going to see, will he be able to? We have Ted Trent, another rookie that is up here in the bullpen that he might get a shot. George Ewell might get a shot as well. He's ready to go, it looks like. But that's the lineup we go. Now, I do think one to watch is we can take a look here. So if we look at the top 100 prospects, Joe Cronin, number 9 for us. But look at this. Boston Red Sox have Bill Dickey and Roy Parnell. Parnell's ready to play in his breakout season this year. But then Satchel Paige is already ready to go. Boston Braves, number 1 pitcher. They haven't had a winning season ever in our simulation here. You can see 79 wins have been their best. Or no, they did have a winning season there, 79 and 75. My fault. This might be the season that they have a little bit more, depending on how he does. So we're going to kick this season off, go to July, and see how things start to shape up. Well, here we are in July 1927. Things got off to a really rocky start. It was not good for us. We were losing a lot of games early on. We can go back to April. You can see not a really good start. And then May was even worse. But then we started turning around at the end of May. In June, we caught fire at different times, winning 4 and 5 in a row here and there. And luckily, no one's been all that great to pull ahead of us. So we're only 3.5 out somehow behind the Reds. But we were right. The Brooklyn Robins probably behind Satchel Paige. Lefty Grove is not having a good season for us. Smokey Joe Williams somehow is. Again, Jakey May is. Luis Tiant is. We went back to a 4-man rotation. That has helped. Grove had a 7 ERA for a while. Fats Jenkins has definitely returned to form with hitting 400. Oscar Charleston struggling in this 2 spot. Lou Gehrig is doing great. He has been on a tear, getting his average up from 350 to 402 with 18 home runs. Hack Wilson's doing well again. Bottomley's doing fine. Malicher's actually hitting a lot better than last couple seasons. So that's good to see. So our batting has been phenomenal. Our offense is what's carried us through June. Pitching is getting better. We do strike out batters. Defense, not surprisingly, we're hurting as far as that goes. But our bullpen's been rough. We are going to need to make some changes in the future if we want to keep up as far as pitching goes. So let's take a look at the standings. The Detroit Tigers are in first over here. So the leaders, we have Harry Heilman at 388. Babe Ruth, 22 home runs. Not on pace for 60, but he's doing much better in this one. Cy Williams, 15. Babe Ruth in the RBI category, quite a gap there. Johnny Noon, 22 stolen bases. Ruth again. Couple of active hitting streaks going on here. ERA, we have Wilcie Moore. Okay, new name there. Russ Miller, Jumbo Elliott. Wilcie Moore's leading in wins, but then our guy Dazzy Vance again, doing it in strikeouts, controlling the league lead there. And then Eddie Rommel, we've seen that name before. Dazzy Vance again. Now in the NL, we've got Gehrig and Fats Jenkins battling out. Mules Suttles is up there around 400 as well. He's also leading the league in home runs at 21. Wow, 456 on base. Ruth is at 461, but this guy's 755 slugging to Ruth's 690. So Gehrig and Hack Wilson come in second, third. Again, the RBI, same thing, just swap. So that's good. Stolen bases, Oscar Charleston's found some speed. He has found some speed, and his on-base percentage it's dropped, but that's because he's not hitting as much. He's still drawing the walks, and he's moving on those base paths. Gehrig leading the OPS. We don't have anybody in the pitching. There's Red Lucas, Syl Johnson, Ray Kramer showing up a couple of these. Satchel Paige, 11. He's got 85 strikeouts, leading the league, 42 walks. He's going to be dominant. So nothing good except Smokey Joe Williams, again, leading in WAR. Is he just hitting the ball well? No, he's not doing that. So I don't know what it is about him, but he's always leading the league in WAR, and he's doing great with us. I mean, he's led it a few times as he's won the Cy Young 3 times. So we're going to see if we can mount a comeback, see if we can maybe make a trade or two. I don't know that we'll be able to. Shortstop is really an Achilles heel for us. Joe Cronin does not look like he's ready to come up and play for us yet. He is someone we're hoping can play shortstop, but he's not ready at that point because he does have the potential to take over next year, maybe his year. But let's jump ahead to September for the pennant stretch. As we enter September with the roster expanding, our offense is running on all cylinders, doing great. We have closed the gap to 2 games behind the Reds. It is 2-horse race now. Brooklyn has fallen off. The Boston Braves way down, so we have not seen Satchel Paige. He's been great, but the rest of the team, not so much. Chick Hafey's starting. I mean, they have 2 young guys that they can build around along with Paige, so it'll be interesting to see if they do. Now, our team, Fats Jenkins, has slowed down to 371. Gehrig's still hitting 389, 38 home runs, 131 RBIs, so Oscar Charleston's back up above 300. He's stolen 32 stolen bases this season. Bottomley's doing okay. Hack Wilson's having another good year. Butch Henline's had to get in because our rookie got hurt for 6 to 7 months. We did just get back Smokey Joe Williams, who was out for 6 weeks, so he's couldn't have come back any sooner. Lefty Grove's he picked it up a little bit. Jakey May's having another solid year. Luis Tian, a little down year as well. But we are in a tight one. Grover Cleveland Alexander did fill in for a little bit for Smokey Joe Williams. That did not work too well. So the Tigers are leading over here. Again, they're holding on with Earl Combs leading the way. They not a lot of power in their bats, but their batting average is number 1, so they don't hit home runs, but they do hit. And then they've got nothing as far as like no names. Wait, Hoyt. Wilcie Moore, he's been leading the league. Jumbo Elliott, so they're a good team. Now we look at the leaders. Al Simmons hitting 386. Heilman, Babe Ruth has 33 home runs. He's definitely going to fall short of his 60. 125 RBI. He's having a good year, just not a Ruthian year. Then you've got Wilcie Moore for earned run average and wins, but again, Dazzy Vance leading the league in strikeouts and WAR. While over in the NL, Lou Gehrig is leading in average, home runs, and he's making a push for RBIs, pushing for our first Triple Crown winner, it looks like. Stolen bases, Frankie Frisch is holding off Charleston, who's deciding to run all over the place this year. Gehrig just crushing it in OPS, way better than Ruth even. Mule Suttles will not go away, though, with those home runs that he's already bested his previous year. What did he play for? He's another one. A Negro League star, just crushing it. Will he even get better? It'll be interesting to see how he pans out. And then we have in the earned run average, Ray Kramer, Virgil Barnes. Kramer's winning again and wins. But Satchel Paige and then Lefty Grove is up here for us. Nothing else other than Smokey Joe Williams is up there again, as we know, and Lefty Grove in WAR. So there's promise for Grove. Hopefully we can catch them down the stretch. We'll check back in October to see where we get. Well, we are going to join back up here October 1st. 2 games left in the regular season going up against the Chicago Cubs, who are 74-78. The Reds, we are neck and neck. We are tied. They are going up against Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is a much more formidable opponent than what we have to go against. We have Smokey Joe Williams and then Lefty Grove, hopefully leading us to victory. You can see Lefty Grove has been doing fantastic, getting his ERA below 4. Smokey Joe's still doing his thing. Gehrig with 45 home runs. How did he do in real life in this season? 1927, he hit 47, 175. Oh, this was his 175 year. That's right. And Ruth with his 60. Murderer's Row for sure. Man, what a season that would be to witness. All right, let's see how we do against the Cubs, who send George Pipgrass out. I think that's George. Yep. All right. So we lost that one. We're a game behind the Reds. Now Lefty Grove with our shot. Oh, we lost again, and the Reds take the division. Oh, so harsh. Detroit in a tight one as well, holding off. So we wrap up the season. We'll come back once we see where things end. We'll come back and check on these, but we got to check out the playoffs. Hey, look at that. Gehrig, our first time winning a home run title with 45. He almost won the Triple Crown. 5 RBI shy. And Hack Wilson was right there with him the whole way. But let's check out the playoffs. The Tigers and the Reds. Again, it's been the National League has been winning every time. Just every time they've won it. So we'll see. Will this be the year? Can Detroit break the streak of the National League victories? Let's find out. The Tigers win the first 2. Interesting. Okay. Game 3. Oh, are they going to get... They got the sweep, so not only does the American League win, they win in dominating fashion. So let's wrap up the stats. Heilman with 393 average, Gehrig 391. So Heilman, Ruth only 39 home runs, but 143 RBIs, so a subpar year from what we were expecting. It's not playing out. He must be having trouble going up against the likes of Wilcie Moore and Dazzy Vance and Burley Grimes. So, and General Crowder, he's a guy we almost took, if I remember right. He signed with the Browns, traded. Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right. Almost took him in the draft, Rule 5 draft. He got picked right before we did. We were going to draft him this season. Turned out to be a solid player. Too bad we didn't get him. But he did well for him. So Dazzy Vance again leading the league in strikeouts. No surprise there. Over on our side, Gehrig and Fats Jenkins, he did return to form. Gehrig has emerged. Gehrig and Wilson. Charleston leading the league in stolen bases, also going up to 310 average. So he bounced back there. 404 on base percentage. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? He's got to be. He's leading the league. He's going to have the numbers. He's going to have the wins. He's got the MVPs. He's a phenomenal player. He's led the league in different categories. Gehrig in OPS, just a dominating season. He's going to be the MVP. There's no he's got to be. I would assume. Strikeouts. Page did 3.3 ERA, 18-12, and 2 saves no less. So Ray Kramer gets 24 wins. Still Johnson. Dusty Grove 148 strikeouts. He did get 20 wins. And then Smokey Joe Williams doing his thing. Still 18 wins. Outstanding. Wow. All right, so let's jump ahead to, well, actually, let's just go ahead and check out the draft pool and see what we have to look at and who's coming in. So the draft pool, not a lot of big names. Chuck Klein. I wonder, let's check out the draft pool, see if there's somebody we're missing here. So all players, Chuck Klein, Whit Wyatt, Johnny Allen. Yeah, this one's going to be a thinner Bobo Newsom. Negro League player, I believe. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Got him mixed up with somebody else. He just bounced around a lot. Wow. I wonder if they're going to make the likes of Ted Williams and stuff miss World War II or not in the 1940s, because there are people coming up like miss season in real life. So I wonder if that's going to be the case. I don't think I marked for them to miss like that. But it will be interesting if they do that. Chuck Klein's obviously the guy to get in this draft. Oops. Yeah, so outfielders, we have plenty. There's plenty to choose from, but he's the best out of the bunch. Not that he is an all-timer, but we'll see. The draft order, we are for some reason in 17th. I hope that will change because we did not win the league. So hopefully that goes back to others, and we get to fix that. So let's see who our award winners are for this season. Well, it's time to check in on the awards winners. See if we have anybody showing up again and again. Mickey Cochran's showing up here. This is his first one and getting the MLB championship, so he's future Hall of Famer, I'm sure. Ed Roush, Willie Wells. He's shown up. No, it's his first one as well. Joe Judge, this is his fourth one. He's one who's been around the block a couple times. In the NL, Brad Lucas, Bassler, Hodup, Newt Allen, a lot of new guys. Frankie Frisch is winning his second one, and Dick Lundy his second one. Other than that, we have lots of new ones. AL reliever went to Bob Shockey. Again, these aren't really big-time awards like we're going to see later on whenever we have our closers and such. Ted Lyons picking up for the Cubs. Platinum Stick in the AL, Bob Smith, Wally Shang, Harry Holloman, who led with a 393. Walter Canati, John Beckwith, Judd Wilson, Roy Parnell, Babe Ruth getting his 6th one. And Cy Williams picking up his second one. He's doing at 39 years old. Look at that. In the NL, we had Red Lucas, Johnny Bassler, Lou Gehrig, second one, hopefully of many, many more. He's led the league twice now in runs. He led an average on-base slugging, OPS, WAR, homer. Oh, if he doesn't win the MVP, something's wrong. Charlie Smith, Dick Lundy, Joe Sewell, Fats Jenkins. Is this his second one? Well done. Bouncing back, Hack Wilson getting another, George Harper, and then the Rookie of the Year, Roy Parnell in the American League. Deservedly so, hitting 370. We'll see more, who's right up there at the best pitchers. Not up there. And Satchel Paige, unanimous. No surprise there. Then we've got our top pitcher, Dazzy Vance, winning his third one, 24, 26, and 27. So second in a row. In the NL, Sam Streeter. Smokey Joe Williams got second. Missing 6 weeks. Not bad. Sam Streeter, he's a new guy. A Negro League player again. These guys are having some success. It's good to see. That may be a reason why we're seeing different numbers as well. AL MVP unanimously Babe Ruth, and I'm guessing, yes, Gehrig unanimously beating out Mule Suttles, who had an amazing year as well, but just not as big as Gehrig. So that takes us to the draft. We are drafting 14th, which is good. I don't know how well this is going to go, if we're going to be able to get anybody worth anything, because there's not a lot of players who are out there. In this one, we are expected to take Lon Warnicki. a Cub, and Cardinal. So maybe we should, just for continuity's sake. Not a bad career in real life. 192 wins. Maybe well, if he's there, we'll take him. So the first pick of this draft will be Chuck Klein, no surprise. Then Whit Wyatt again. Johnny Allen, Ray Pop Prim, Dixie, the People's Church Walker. What a great name. Man, he's a stud player. We do have Joe Cronin, who's one of the top. He's moving up the board of prospects. We also have Leo DeRocher, who can be serviceable for us. Lon, the Arkansas Hummingbird. G. Walker, Hot Potato Hamlin, Roy Parmalee, Bobo Newsome, Jim Weaver, Bill Swift, Neck Stanley. Wally Berger is who they want us to take. The scout recommends this guy. He's an outfielder. They're a dime a dozen. I want to go back to, who did they recommend we take again? Oh, he was already selected 6th. That's right. So he went, he went to, it says first round 6th pick. That's not, that's the draft pipeline. Okay, so he went 6 overall. Here we go. To the Giants. That's a shame. Now there's still some big time players, like Billy Herman is out here. Second base, we need to have an infielder. Our infield is really lacking. I mean, this guy, 2,300 hits, hitting 300. He might be a guy that we could go with. But I want to check. He does play second base this career. Okay, because that's the problem. We've been drafting people who don't actually play. Al Hollingsworth is another one who's still on the board. Wally Berger is who they're, Frank Crosetti, Dusty Cook, BYU. Oh. Well, let's take a look at the list here. We might just go with what they're recommending. Oh, no, Billy Herman is who I think we need to go with. Ted Radcliffe. Oh, he's another wild card. But we already did that. We have catchers. I think we're okay on that one. So we're going to take Billy Herman and hope he pans out. And with that, let's jump ahead to the end of the draft. April 10th, 1928, opening day. This time we're going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates and Bullet Rogan, who has been a dominant pitcher, leading the league 3 years in a row. He's won 20 wins every single time. He's going to set the tone right off the bat. We're facing one of the better teams in the league. As far as our draft goes, we have to catch up on what was going on there. So we did take Billy Herman with our first pick, L.D. Livingston. The reason why we picked him, great name, and being a Negro League player, he offers some unique skills potentially. I know he doesn't look great here, but I'm hoping he'll emerge because there wasn't much left. Will Jackman, Bob Seeds, Les Mellon. So, yeah, and then a bunch of people who will not get to probably get anywhere near the majors. So we're going to have Lefty Grove leading our rotation. Smokey Joe Williams is going to be second at 42 years old. Luis Tiant is fourth. Now, a new addition, Andy Cooper. We traded for him this offseason by trading Kurt Walker in our crowded outfield and Lou Blue, who was in the minor leagues anyways. We finally got to ship him off. He gets a chance to hopefully play every day with the Browns. And we get a pitcher who has been okay. He's led the league in ERA. He's been solid as far as that goes. Real life, we don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what we get out of this one. We still have Grover Cleveland Alexander hanging around. We still have Evan Rixey hanging around. Jakey May is starting to slip, so he's moving back. George Yule is there. George Britt is still there. Arthur Cousins, Bullet Joe Bush is still around. And Ted Trent is back here. So we don't have a lot of depth behind those four. We're going to have Oscar Charleston leading us off this time, followed by Wilson Reedus, who's looks set for a power stroke. Fats Jenkins has slipped, it looks like, so he's not going to be getting in the lineup. He'll get in rotation. Lou Gehrig's going to be carrying us from the 3 spot, followed by Hack Wilson. Jimmy Dykes is getting to bat 5th. Malacher. We are going to try moving Bottomley to catcher this year. So we'll see what a disaster this is and if we need to change that and put Clarence Palm back. These Henline, Maya and Palm, they are going to be playing quite a bit though. Joe Cronin is getting to start as a rookie. He's going to show us what he's got. He is rated the number 6 prospect. He's not really completely there yet, but we're going to see how he does. Hall of Fame voting results. Eddie Cicotti is the only one to get it. Shoeless Joe, second, getting up there. But again, none of these guys have played in ours yet, so it's not showing us how anything is possibly different for that. So let's jump ahead to July for the 1928 season. Well, it has been a wild first half. We've been all over the place with another rough start, winning 7 in a row, then 8 in a row. Half game behind the Pirates. Lou Gehrig in the early June was batting .460. It was ridiculous. So the offense has shown up. Batting average isn't there, but we're scoring runs. We're hitting the ball out of the park. Pitching started off really rough. Smokey Joe especially, but things have leveled out for our pitching staff. Grover Cleveland Alexander, 11 2/3 scoreless. So our defense is really great. Defensive efficiency is fantastic. Errors, it's probably all Bottomley, I'm guessing. Let's look at the errors. Just 12. Not as many as I would have expected from him. So let's check where everybody's at. We are a half game behind the Pirates. Boston Braves still struggling. Satchel Paige is not having as good of a season this year. The Boston Red Sox and the St. Louis Browns, 2 new teams. This is who we trade. Lou Blue is getting a chance to play. Good for him. And Kurt Walker as well. Both of the guys that are helping propel them to a winning season. And the Yankees, bottom dwellers. So let's check out the league leaders. For Bing Miller, there's a new name. Rogers Hornsby is still around. How long did he play into 37? So he's been quiet the last few seasons. Yeah, 24, 25, 26. Well, no, just last season. He just not as noticeable. I don't know what it was. Hornsby, Bilsante, Babe Ruth, 18 home runs. He's doing fine. He's on pace for 30 to 40. Beckwith is having a good year. Fothergill with stolen bases. Babe Ruth again with the OPS. In the pitching categories, Burley Grimes, McDonald, Rommel. So these are Eddie Rommel's getting a chance to start, it looks like. Braxton, McDonald, Winters, Dazzy Vance. Oh, but he's being challenged by Tommy. What a alliterated name there. Tommy Thomas, who is surprisingly out of nowhere here. Huh. And then Wade Hoyt is second there in saves, and Joe Shop. So in the National League, Gehrig, but then Heine Manouche is also hitting 400 currently. Gehrig's leading in home runs as well, but he only has 49 RBI, so he's well behind. Oh, Jimmy Fox, he is starting to get on a tear. Hack Wilson is still doing his thing. Frankie Frisch is leading stolen bases, just dominant. William Reedus, there we go. That's who we were hoping, the power bat we were hoping to get. Gehrig and War, and then what we have in earned run average. Andy Cooper, our trade guy, and Lefty Grove are both 1 and 2, both 2 and 3. Bullet Rogan leading for Pittsburgh. No surprise there. And strikeouts, Lefty Grove even bettering Dazzy Vance. This might be the beginning of a dominating stretch, I'm hoping, as he is dominating here. And Smokey Joe still, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. As long as they let him do it. This is his 9th year. No, 8th year. So we'll see if they do. But we are going to not really seek to make any changes unless something crazy comes around. Joe Cronin is struggling, but he's there. His defense is hopefully doing well. And he's committing quite a few errors as well. But we'll see. That may be one change we make. But other than that, we're going to ride out this team. We're doing well. And I don't know what to do unless we can get some kind of star to shake things up and see how the rest of the season shakes up going to the pennant race in September. Back in September now, we have fallen out a bit. The dog days of August really hurt us. Gehrig had an 80-plus game on base streak come to an end during that. He's having an amazing year. Reedus is having an amazing year. We did have Malicher got hurt, so Palm is in catcher. We moved Bottomley to third. Maybe that will help with the defense because that obviously wasn't working. I do want to point out career team leaders. Look at this. Charleston's leading in games played, hits, home runs. Wins is Charlie Radbourne still, so we don't have anybody new coming in here, but I would assume Smokey Joe has to be up there close. And he's got 170 wins. He's so close. And Lefty, he's got to be close in strikeouts as well. 1,062. So he's about to take over the car maybe next season. So we're going to jump ahead. I don't think there's going to be a down to the wire finish in this one. So the Pirates might just be going on their way to face the Detroit Tigers again, who are going to be looking to defend their championship. But we'll find out in just a moment. Well, we ended the year with 90 wins, but Pittsburgh had 99 wins, so we did not have enough. We had a good, solid season. It just wasn't enough to get over the hump. And Detroit, it went to Game 7 for the Pirates, having to win 3 in a row after dropping down 3 games to 1. They came back to win 3 in a row to get their World Series. I believe it's their second one in our time, 5th one overall. They had won in 1925. So, yeah, they were back in there doing their thing. As far as league leaders go, you had Rogers Hornsby taking the batting title in the American League. Babe Ruth with 32 home runs. He is definitely not going to get – he'll be lucky to get 500 home runs, actually, the way he's going. Del Basante, Willie Wells, John Beckwith. And then we've got in the pitching department, Eddie Rommel winning the ERA. He's been up there in the saves and such, but he's getting up there for overall. Garland Braxton in wins. Dazzy Vance in strikeouts, continuing his reign. And Joe Shawty for Boston in saves. Now, in the NL, we had Lou Gehrig winning the batting title, hitting .405. What a season. Home runs, 36. And he was 1 RBI shy from the Triple Crown. So close. Goose Goslin beat him out. Pittsburgh, no less. But look at these home run totals. Wilson Reedus, Hack Wilson, Lou Gehrig. We took the top 3. Even better than, were we better than them? I mean, Babe would have tied Hack Wilson. Wow. On base, OPS, same thing. WAR again, Gehrig. Reedus even had a 21-game hit streak. ERA title went to Bullet Rogan. Lefty Grove just behind him, 3.12. Just behind him again in wins. Leading in strikeouts, though, hitting .215 and dominating in WAR. And our new guy, Andy Cooper, having a solid season. So let's check out the awards for this. Actually, let's go to some news for us. We do have Bullet Joe Bush is retiring. He had a pretty good couple seasons for us, 1921, 1922, and 1923, but then it just went off the rails and he never really got back for us. So he ended up with 159 wins, which is far less than he got in real life because he did not get the number of wins, and we took him out of the lineup a little bit earlier than what he would have got. Top prospects, we have none. George Selkirk, Chuck Klein, Carl Hubbell's there. He should be ready to go next season, I would imagine. And we have the draft pool being revealed, which we'll dive into the next episode. But I don't know that there were any big names again this season. So let's see. As far as Lefty Gomez of the Yankees, G. Walker, he was drafted by the Cubs, didn't sign, so he's a good player as well. He's potentially going to be someone who goes off the board pretty quick. Don't recognize any of these other names near the top, but that doesn't mean they're not good players. So let's check out the awards to wrap up this and see how things are going. Next episode, we'll be getting into checking out the statistics and the careers to see what the leading numbers are for everything. So let's go to our major awards and find out who these winners were. So in the AL, Gold Gloves, Salmon, he's won. Nope, he just showed up in some of the leaderboards. Mike Gonzalez, Del Basante, Rabbit Marinville getting in there at second base. Marcel Willie Wells, his name's showing up quite a bit. And then in the NL, Art Mills, Larry Brown. Mule Suttles is having a fantastic season again. He's having a heck of a career. George Scales, Dick Lundy, Blues, Wes, Mostil, Mel Ott. Ooh. Love to have him on our team. Shaw gets the reliever award in the AL. Hal Haid for the Brooklyn Robins. And then we've got our Platinum Stick Award winners, Burley Grimes, Mickey Cochran. Rogers Hornsby back on top again. Al Simmons is back. Babe Ruth gets another one as well. In the NL, Bullet Rogan for Pittsburgh. He's just all in all great. 6 home runs. Man, what are his batting stats? He's hitting .291, 43 home runs, 600 hits. No wonder he wins so many games. He just drives in players himself. Gary Gagin at first base. Rap Dixon, Lindstrom, Sewell, Wilson Reedus gets one. Hack Wilson gets one. Rookie of the Year goes to George Stripp. In the AL, in the NL, it is to Doug Tate. And now the number 1 AL pitcher, Garland Braxton, unanimous. And Lefty Grove with a unanimous one, beating out Rogan. I'm surprised Rogan didn't get a few votes, having a better ERA, but the war, I guess, goes to Lefty Grove. So that's where we're going to stop this one after the 1928 season. The next episode will be 1929-1930. If we have time, we will either end that episode by looking at statistics, or we will pick up the following one by looking at where things are statistics-wise and examining them, or maybe even do a special episode just with those. So I hope you're enjoying the series, following along, seeing how it shapes up. And I hope you'll join me on the next episode as we continue this Legends in the Making series to see how Major League Baseball shakes up in this new reshaped 20th century.